I don't like Destiny. I don't like ABBA, Preach, none of them. None of them. They're woke, way too woke for me. I used to like, well, maybe not Destiny, but maybe ABBA and Preach content before they start seeing all the money. When they start seeing the monies, man, they went woke and now they grifting. That's just my full belief. Every time I watch ABBA and Preach, that's what I see. Right here. That's how they come in. They start the stream off like that. Well, not even stream. They start the damn video off like that. Let's hear, what's his name? ABBA, however you pronounce that loser's name. Destiny talk about why the red pill is obsessed with young women. They foul. They are just nasty. The way that they just be flipping things. Let's hear what he has to say. See if there's any kind of valid information in it. It's probably not.
Okay, I think this is actually interesting. Destiny, you might know quite a bit about this. Is there literature on the fact that like there's just
the on there with Triologic? I think that's her name too. I think that's her icon for Discord.
Obviously, I imagine there has to be. Some people are more susceptible to attracting partners, and if so, like what kind of character traits do those people have?
Oh, and absolutely. I mean, my guess would be that like prior trauma is probably going to be indicative of future trauma because your mental ability to set boundaries is already heavily compromised.
Why are they talking to him like he a doctor? Maybe I'm bugging. I don't understand that. Why are they talking to Destiny like he's Dr. Destiny?
Compromised. So people that have had bad experiences, bad relationships in the past are more likely to tolerate future relationships. My guess is going to be that people that rate higher on like agreeableness and everything are probably going to be more prone to that. Like, if somebody's willing to set a boundary, let's see, I'll make a strong statement here. If somebody's willing to set a boundary, then there's a lot less likely a chance of them being abused, I think, because abusers don't typically pick people like that. This is why, in my opinion, red pill people always advocate for being like passport bros and finding like younger women with quote unquote less trauma. Is because they're looking explicitly. Yes. Yeah, they're looking explicitly for women that they can pull stupid with.
Well, I mean, I think
wow, this is stupid. The generalizations is wild, fam. So if there's anything in particular that you like as a preference, are you looking for people you could take advantage of or spend things on? Is that what your wife looked for, Destiny? She looked for a simp that she could be able to just go around town and mess with other people? Is that what is for real? That's the dumbest thing in the world, man. That's so stupid. And they all just, yeah, that sounds so right. Yeah. Tree sound hurt. I don't know if she with somebody right now. I don't care. She sound hurt, man. To generalize everyone who follows the red pill as just people that like to pick your brains for trauma and try to abuse, that's disgusting. To just throw that out there like that.
Things that you guys discussed on the
nasty as hell.
You said something about like a man must always have the leverage or must always have the authority or more leverage over the other person. That's constant like talking point I've heard throughout like the red pill discourse. People speak about.
Yeah.
Or it's like have more money, try to encourage you to stay at home while you take care of most of the bills. Make sure that you're always ready to leave. Never be the first one to say, I love you. Never be the first one to really show emotions or be vulnerable. It's like everything is always about maintaining the position of like extreme power and against dominance.
And if I had like a friend that was a girl.
Is that maintaining power or dominance, or is that maintaining your masculinity? What's up with you? I'm telling you, like you put some blue pills in the room, they don't know what's going on. It just seems like it sounds like that to somebody that's soft.
Oh, and she told me that like, oh yeah, like this is what this guy believes. And like, I feel any good friend would be like, hey, listen, you need to run for the hills. This guy is like red flag after red flag after red flag.
Yeah, really.
Why the would you put yourself in any like proximal situation with this guy? Like, get the fuck out. This guy sounds like a psychopath.
So when it comes to,
I'm telling you, he's that kind of guy. He's the guy that back in high school used to be sitting at the girls' table because nobody else like him. And then he would just be hating on all the men as he was friend zone. He was the friend zone guy that was hating on all the men, being real cat-like.
This is a different one. But from the man's side, or the men who are susceptible to engage in this kind of behavior, what do you think they're looking for in women, or how are they sussing out the kind of women? Like, obviously they meet Tree, they might find her a bit combative, or she's able to assert boundaries. What are they looking for in, I guess, women's behavior?
In the chat, y'all even saying, I want a man to tell me what the F to do. Chicks that I mess with like that too, so.
To be able to suss out somebody that they can.
It's always the soft people that either are not into like BDSM or anything like that, or they're just like real submissive, expecting all the other men to be submissive as well, man. Like, it's kind of weird that they want to be masculine, right? Isn't that cringe? No, not at all. It's cringe that you so soft.
Get out of it. You have to guess.
That's
And sure, you can share this too if you have input.
Yeah, they give a nice guy energy.
I feel like the thing you're always looking for. Or go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Destiny.
I was going to say people that don't have some needs met are always the easiest people to prey on. So if you've got somebody that doesn't have very many friends, somebody that hasn't been in a relationship, people that are longing for love or affection, like these types of people that desperately need something in their life, if they've got these like holes in their life that aren't filled, then those are the easiest people to take advantage of, because you can fill just a little bit of those holes and then have a ton of leverage over them. Because
is that what happened to you? Is that what you're saying? Speak from experience. It's so like, because what I hear this is anyone who's had any past trauma, anything hurt or anything, they off limits. You can't date them because destiny says that it's going to look like you taking advantage. So you just shouldn't be able to date nobody. That sounds crazy.
I'm obsessed with you.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah. Thank from you.
Yeah, true. What about you?
Men always put out fillers. So you see where men say, yo, you can just talk shit against a woman. If this a woman is a 10, or just tell her she's a average at best. And I think they
wow. She don't know what the hell she's talking about. And she's on the that's what's so disgusting. Abba knows about Kevin Samuels. He reacted to the clip. He even agreed with the clip, if I'm not mistaken. But now he's sitting here as this woman misrepresents someone who passed away's beliefs in what they presented. He didn't just tell someone who was a 10-year average at best. He told someone who was average at best that they were average at best because they thought that they deserved to get a 10. They thought that they were a 10. And he let them know, hey, you're not up there where you think you should be. Men have to hear this every day. Women, they're not used to it because men are so thirsty. 10s are smashing the 6s. 10s are smashing the 5s. Are they marrying the 5s or ended up in relationships with those? No, but just because that 5 was able to get smashed, she believes that she's no longer a 5 and that she's like an 8 or 9. And now when someone that is her rank, like a 5 or 6 comes, maybe even a 7, she's going to look at him like, you not the 10 that just smashed me and left. You want to be in a relationship with me, you got to be like the 10 that just smashed me and left. Right. And then eventually she hits the wall and then starts settling. Right. Or maybe she's just not like that. And she'll learn to value other things as well.
Women may go, they may. And that works with some women, and some women like, you. I'm like, I look
that like button.
It's why you up in my face. But I think it's a numbers game. They will run that on some women, and they will find the women and go, for real. And they'll just, that woman will try to please them or try to get their favor and try to see that she's beautiful or that she's worthy of their attention. Blah, blah, blah. I've seen it happen, actually.
This is why they always say, like, they don't want masculine women, right? I don't want a woman that's going to fight with me all the time, right?
Or they could just not be into masculine women, bro. Like, this is what society does. They will try to force men to be uncomfortable. If a woman says, that's not my preference, I don't want to date someone that's short. That's not my preference. I don't want to date a big guy. That's my preference. A man, we give a preference. Nah, that's unacceptable. I don't want to be with a woman that's too masculine. Oh, you must be weak. A real alpha would want to deal with arguments all day, every day, 24/7. He would want to deal with, that's what a real alpha would. No, it's them trying to like pressure you into fitting in a slot that you don't fit in because they lonely. They like, damn, I wish I had a real dominant man. Well, maybe instead of actually realizing that I'm not meant to be with a dominant man, maybe I could try to Jedi mind trick and guilt this man that I like into conforming to what I said, and then make him think that's dominance.
Right. Yeah.
So stupid.
And because they don't want
like
to basically have her boundaries and stick to it.
It's interesting because I know this stuff intellectually, but I think I'm just like looking back on my own personal life and my personal experience, and I'm realizing the women who I met, who I dated, who I felt like could have been very susceptible to that behavior, were all like very young. I don't know, it's about like the younger women, especially as an older person if you're dating them, but they just want to bend over backwards to please. I don't know what it is that they're feeling, or maybe there's like a prototype there where
hearing a simp say this is crazy. Albert, you jumped into some bushes when a girl rejected you for a date, bro. We got it. You are the prototype for what you're describing towards women. You benefited off red pill. You probably could have benefited even more if you found it sooner. But now you're sitting here, oh, I think that they didn't take advantage, even though you were someone who was taken advantage of because you didn't have the information. It's almost as if you're just pandering to get some money. It's like you don't believe in anything.
Reason why they go for older men is to fill in some kind of void. But I notice that especially with younger women, I feel like they're even more susceptible because their aim to please at their own expense seems even higher.
Wouldn't that be a daddy issue?
It's so stupid. No, just because the person's older doesn't mean automatically he's going to be the right person. Right? Just because a chicken's younger, if she finds an older guy, does not mean that he's the person she's going to end up with or be with. Based off of Ab and Destiny's logic, that's all you got to be. That's the qualification. You older. I'm older. Get with me. That's crazy. You know how many grandpas be out here getting it, nigga? No. That's not how it works. It just sounds like bitterness. This sounds like a whole bunch of bitterness because they couldn't get what they wanted. So now they sitting here grifting because they figure might as well just get the money.
No, I think that's a woman issue. I think that in society in general, I think women are generally conditioned to just be a little bit more of like a pleaser kind of. And when you're young, it's really easy for other people to hijack that kind of social programming. So it probably will take a woman one or two shitty relationships to realize.
Hey, all the simps or former simps, right? When you were younger and those girls that knew that you was a simp and took advantage of you, that never happened according to Destiny because it's only women that were young, like just people in general. Don't just make mistakes, right? In general, right? But it has nothing to do with age. You're comparing people when they're like kids to making mistakes to when they are adults and deciding who the hell they want to be with. If someone wants to date someone who's older, it's not, oh, this person's taking advantage. That's like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're pretty much calling the younger person an idiot or a fool that needs you, someone on the internet that types on their keyboard and plays this game for 5,000 hours. They need you to think for them and decide who they should be with. I think that's pretty stupid to me.
I was like, oh, hold on. People are going to misuse and abuse
hit the like button, guys.
Temperament that I've been trained with if I'm not careful, I think.
Yeah. I will say, though, that kind of power dynamic.
They did that at all. Because I'm trying to think, like, how was I a pleaser when I was young and I can't?
Well, I mean, you seem like you have a really aggressive personality, like you're outside of the norm, right? But you know that your temperament tree is way outside the norm for most women, right?
They're sitting there, Trio, whatever, Trio Logic is a masculine woman. That's not even no doubt about it. I don't care what nobody says. From the clips and the videos I've watched, she's very masculine, which is why he's babying her instead of just saying, yeah, masculine men wouldn't be into you. You're an exception. No, this is why she feels the way she feels, because she's masculine and she wasn't able to get the men that she wanted for a certain period of time. So now she has this assumption of men, not realizing maybe masculine men don't want to be with a masculine woman. Maybe that's just, maybe I'm swimming in the wrong pool.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Not even an option.
Have you ever pedestalized someone that you were interested in?
I'm sorry, you came in broken up. Can you say that again? Sorry, Abba.
Have you ever pedestalized someone that you were very like?
Just put you on a pedestal.
No, because, and I have to blame that on my dad. My dad was a whore, but he was I guess because he was such a good father in bringing me up, he didn't want me to turn out to be like the women that he married and that he would cheat on my stepmom with. And so I really did not have any respect for these women. And I looked at them. And so I always looked at them like, damn, you doing all this for my daddy? Really? So she's
describing a whole bunch of psychological things and explaining why she treats men the way she treats them or why she views red pill men the way that she views them. She's describing it. Like, it has nothing to do with the red pill. This is your own trauma, girl.
Implanted in my mind to never, this is what I would say, never be her. Never be her. So all these women
Now, wouldn't by Destiny's Alba logic, some older man had found her years ago, married her, and she wouldn't even be on this damn stream? Because she has so much trauma young.
Would cook for they know my dad's married, right? They would cook for my dad. They would buy stuff for me to try to please my dad through me. They just did everything catering to my dad, put my father on a pedestal. And there was two women. By the way, what I'm about to say is already it's common knowledge.
Go ahead. Tell us your hate.
Two women
Describe your hate.
out in front of my dad because my dad would not leave my stepmom.
Yeah, that would affect you, huh? Hearing that, seeing that would affect you. As a woman, I would assume. As a kid, it would probably affect the way you act. That's probably why you so She-Hulk. Tree. Me tree. You. Stepping stone.
Wait. When you say it took, like they killed each other?
Yeah, no, they killed themselves. Like the first one,
Jesus.
I didn't see the first one. We just saw her body with a note on top of my dad's hood.
Hello? Sorry.
Why you bleep out curse words? He bleep that out.
Make sure.
Yeah, they committed suicide. The first one did it in the middle of the night, and she did it with pills, and she just tied a suicide letter to her chest, and she laid on my dad's car. And so, because my dad worked the morning shift at the police department, so when he got up, he would go out and everything like that, and I would get ready to go to school. And so we would come out together. So he'll drive me to the bus stop, and there's this dead body on my dad's hood. And the second woman, now I think this really changed me.
She's literally describing how she had a bunch of trauma. She fits into that category. Why is she so masculine? Why is she not being picked up by a red pill guy, huh?
In reference to, I would never let a man get to this point where the other one was a woman, and I knew about her for like 3 years. And she was outside making a lot of ruckus, and she's basically had a revolver. And she was like, if you don't fucking come out here and blah, blah, blah. And my dad's trying to stop me from seeing it. Too late. I was going to watch this. And long story short, I actually saw it where she shot herself in the head.
That was definitely not a long story short.
Right when
it was a short story long. Unfortunate events, right? When it comes to those type of stuff, of course, it's unfortunate. I've had friends that I've lost like that. Super unfortunate. I don't think it should be used as an example for something like that. I think that makes no sense. It's kind of like appealing to empathy type stuff, and I don't like that. Like let's stick to the actual discussion, and how the red pill is so evil. Like, because what that tells me is that you yourself have gone through trauma the way that Abba and Destiny were describing. Oh, this is what the red pill takes advantage of. Sounds like to me, this is what the blue pill right now in front of our eyes is taking advantage of. Here's a woman who has had a lot of trauma, and here's two blue pill beta males sitting here. You're right about everything. Come to us. That's what they're doing right before our eyes.
She started to hear the police sirens coming to the house. So, and they both killed themselves over my father. So I never, ever said it just ingrained in me that I will never worship a man and put a man on a pedestal to the point where I love him.
So if this is acceptable why can't it be acceptable as the reverse? Why can't there be men that have gone through certain experiences, right? They didn't even talk about it's just, oh, well, they're taking advantage of women that have gone through. What about the men that have gone through certain experiences and chose to just live a different lifestyle? And then now they have to sit there and listen to you misrepresent their lifestyle and paint them as like villains because they don't want to be taken advantage of. But then you sit here as this woman tells you the same exact type of tale, and you coddle her and make her feel special. Oh, you had to see a body when you were a kid. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm from the Bronx. It's actually pretty normal where I'm from, which is not, I'm not saying that's okay. That's just definitely unacceptable. I didn't realize that wasn't normal until I got to a certain age and left the Bronx. It was like, oh, so y'all don't hop over bodies in the morning. That's so. No? Oh, okay. I thought that was a normal thing. Say it. But what I'm saying is that to put that as an example for trauma and why you don't put men on a pedestal, that tells me that you have something that you probably need to work on. Probably got to maybe work on it. I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything, right? Can't diagnose you. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe you got something that you should work on before you take that out on the men. Right, that can explain why you're so masculine and why you're willing to just talk to men the way you do, right?
More than I love myself. So that would never happen.
Yo, Tree, I think I've been on Destiny's stream for a long time. I think that might be some of the craziest shit.
No way.
That's because you might be sheltered, pimp. Might be sheltered for the Bronx. People be thinking I be joking too. It was wild. It was wild back in the day. But I digress. It didn't do nothing but motivate me. That's it. Just motivate me to do the things I need to do. As far as Destiny, Albert, I'm not even going to include Tree. She went through whatever she got to go through. That's a different discussion. As far as Destiny, Albert, their hate for the red pill community or people that are within the men's sphere, it's really disgusting. Because if you're woke, right, and super pro black, they leave you alone. That's the key. You gotta be super wokey woke. Wokety woke. My brother, my sister, right? And then that gets their approval. That gets the seal. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit the like button. All that good stuff, man. It's crazy out here in these streets.